Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Okay, so we are back here with our final video of the playthrough for Aftermath, in which we are going to complete our mission, read the objective that we completed, and then go through the steps and the part of the game where we are dealing with our settlement. Okay, so for a successful completion of our first mission, Raid on Injo, we are going to read entry 98-1. You arrive back at Abigail Lane, proudly carrying the onion snoodles on your back. You can't wait to show the others, but when you smile proudly at the mice on perimeter duty, you see only apprehension on their faces. Something is off. So we gain +5 food, which does bring us up to 21 food. And also +1 morale, so that brings us up to 7 morale. Then we're going to go to 98, 98-3. Oh, and also we are to banish this mission. So banish means we're going to put this in the banish box. And again, that's kind of like a legacy step, whereas this mission will no longer be available in this particular campaign. All right, so now we're going to go to 98-3. There isn't the usual welcoming committee of wee ones begging for snoodles or worried old codgers counting heads to make sure everyone got back okay. It's oddly tense and quiet. Patches and Tidbit are with a group of concerned elders gathering in the living room near the hearth. In the firelight, conflicting looks of concern and relief dance over their faces. "Oh, thank goodness," gasps Tidbit, as you are quickly embraced by the tearful elders. "I'm so relieved you have returned," says Patch, wiping his snout. "You have made us proud. No one has even mentioned the snoodles. Something is wrong." "What's going on, Pop?" Messiah says. "It's the providers. They haven't returned from scouting North Bend," he says solemnly. "They should have returned by now," adds Tidbit, and everyone starts speaking in hushed tones so as not to send panic through the colony. The providers are the most steadfast of heroes. What could have happened to them? Patch pulls the young critters aside. "Listen, the trial is irrelevant now," as he says. "You are all we have. I hate that it has come to this, but these are desperate times and the burden is going to fall on you. We need to find out what happened to Tuft and Cookie and the rest of the providers, but we also need the safety and sustenance they give us." The old mouse shakes his head. "You will need to grow up fast, faster than is even right or fair. You are our providers now." Go to page 101. Okay, so this is where the colony step starts. So in our story here, we moved from Injo back to Abigail Lane to where our home base is. And so for the colony phase, the first thing you do is, so you start. Now your mission is over. It's time to manage your colony. This is called the colony phase and consists of 7 steps. So 1, you do a side mission. If you have any side missions that you've gone on, you see if you've completed those tasks. Otherwise, we don't have to do anything. The clue step. If you added 1 to your clue dial during this mission, read the entry that matches your current dial value on page 102. Once all 8 entries have been read, banish the search token that has the clue prize. So we're at 2 right now. I'm actually not going to read the clues on this video because those are kind of like the major narrative spoilers where you really learn about the world, and I think it's important for people to discover those on their own. So we will not read the clue. Event. Okay, while the characters are away on a mission, the colony is vulnerable. Subtract the time allowance listed on your mission. So our mission, we had a time allowance of 5 from the value on the time dial on your campaign tracker, which our campaign tracker is on 7. So we're at 2. The difference is the number of events that befell the colony while you were gone. For each event that befell your colony, reveal an encounter card from your encounter. Do not shuffle, because remember, sometimes you might be adding new events to the back of your, or new encounters to the back of your encounter card during a mission. So you want to keep those out while you're doing this step. For each event that befell your colony, reveal an encounter card. Go to the event listed on page 103 that matches the card's number. Read the entry. So I need to do 2 of those. So let's see what the first one is. 24. So we're going to go to 3. We're going to look for 24 here. Raiders snuck in through the fence. They attacked us. We have lost 1 population, bringing us down to 7. We lost 1 scrap, bringing us down to 20. And we lost 2 food, bringing us down to 19. All right, so let's see what our second event that happened was. 10. Smokey was lying in ambush when a few folks went outside. She was on them before they could scream. I believe Smokey is the cat here in the story, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Yes, Smokey is the cat. So the cat was waiting for us and pounced on us. I do lose, again, I lose 2 population, which is going to bring us down to 5 population. And prevention, Blocko Watchtower and Lookout Post. I believe those are things that we can possibly build during our, let's see, Lookout Post and the Watchtower. So I'm not sure what that is. I know that means that we can't, I don't think we can build the Lookout Post right now, but we'll have to, I'll have to look that up. Most events can be prevented with the correct colony structure or colony improvement. I see. So if we had those 2 things, we could have prevented that from happening. So if we had a watchtower or a lookout post or something built, that would help us against defending against that particular event. So that's pretty cool. Only one of the listed preventions is needed to prevent the event. If you use a colony improvement card to prevent an event, discard that card to the item deck. Okay, so now we need to do the accounting step. This is where we feed our population. So we have to take away a number of food equal to our current population. So our current population is 5, so we're going to lose 5 food. We're going to go down to 14 food. For every person you can't feed, you lose some morale. If your population or morale ever reaches 0, you lose the game and you have to read one of the bad endings. So now we're going to do the build step. Page 104 has a list of colony structures. You may pay scrap to build them. Some colony structures have prerequisites in addition to or instead of costing. All right, so we have our colony structures here. These are the different ones we can build. We can build a public council. That gives us plus morale. It costs 10. We can build a mender's hut. That costs 10 scrap. And upon building, we can choose a new ability for Whisper, one of the heroes. The workshop costs 15. After building, you can retrieve the Blade Bikes vehicle card. So this is one of the things where you can get different vehicles. And one of them is the Blade Bikes, kind of like rollerblade bikes, similar to the Tron light cycles, I guess, without the light. So if we build the workshop, we can have a vehicle, and that way we can do more fast travel around the overworld map and maybe not lose as much time. You can choose a new ability for Ringer. At the start of each mission, each character may choose and equip one item from the colony supply deck without paying its repair cost. So if you remember in our last mission, we found this action figure vest, which is some really good armor. And on our next mission, when we go, we can choose to spend 3 scrap before we go to repair this and then allow somebody to use this item. So any items that we find, we can repair with scrap if they're broken. There are a ton of items in the game, and I really wish we could have found more because some of them are, I think, are quite awesome. I'm really looking forward to discovering more of these and how they change up the game and how they do some more luck mitigation and things like that. But right now, we only have a action figure vest, a piece of armor. We can expand our nest. That costs 7. That allows our population to go above 15. Right now we kind of are hard capped at 15. We can build a water pump. We have to have mission 4 completed. It costs 5, and upon building we get 3 morale. We can build a garden, which is actually one of Grumple's goal. So if we build the garden, we are 1/4 of the way towards completing the game. The garden needs a water pump though, and we have to have mission card 10 banished. So we need to find mission cards 4 and 10, which I don't believe any of those are available to us yet. So even though it looks like one of the objectives is super easy to get, we are going to have to go on some more adventures to get what we need. Upon building, we can choose a new ability for Grumple. So the abilities are all right here. Now, I didn't really use the abilities throughout my game. I didn't ever find them I couldn't think of a useful way to use them. So I'm hoping that some of the other abilities are more appealing to me and more applicable during a mission. During the accounting step for each colony, you can reduce the amount of food needed to feed the population by 10. So a garden, we have to go on 2 main missions to build that, but that's going to give us a lot of stuff. That's something we definitely want to look towards. A lookout post costs 7, and that just kind of prevents some of the events from happening. Training grounds, we have to have a population of at least 20, which we are far from. Our population is down to 5. We really do need to work on getting our population up. And that costs, 7. And upon building, choose a new ability for Messiah. And then we can also build the market. That needs a population of 15 or more, costs 10. And then if players successfully complete missions 8A, 8B, and 8C, the market will be built automatically without having to pay the cost. And those are all in the mission. So that is kind of maybe some direction there about maybe what we want to do next. Maybe we actually want to think about doing these main missions and maybe taking on a side mission to help build the market. And that gives us +1 population, and then at the start of the accounting step, as many times as you like, you may exchange 2 of any of the following for 1 of the following. So that allows you to exchange goods such as scrap, food, and batteries, which we still haven't found any batteries either. So I'm going to think about that and decide what thing I want to build for my colony. And then finally what you do is you save your game. And that's what our little character tuck boxes are for. So we're going to take what we have for Grumple, which is her steak knife and her throw ability. Okay, we're going to go ahead and throw those in her tuck box here. And then we take what we have for Messiah. Not the vest. The vest goes in our colony thing. And then we're going to put those in his tuck box. We have our adventure deck. So this is the thing. So if we were to build one of these structures, the structures that we can build are represented by cards. And then we can add these cards to our colony tuck box at the time that we build them, so we know what we have built. We really don't need to keep track of anything on paper in this game, which is really nice. The bookkeeping in this game is, I think, expertly handled. I'm very happy with that, with this setup here, how everything is represented on a card. You keep everything in boxes. Very well done. Very, it's player friendly. So this is our banished box. We're going to put mission 1 in there. So that's all taken care of. We have our colony box here, and all we have to add to our colony box right now, well, maybe these snoodles. I'm not sure. It didn't say what to do with them. I'm going to put them in here just in case. If I need them, I'll grab them. And we put our vest in there. So now our colony is all saved. And that's really it. So when we set up the game again to play, I guess the only thing that maybe you want to do is like take a picture of your campaign dashboard. just so you know how everything, because I did drop this at one time during the playthrough I mentioned, and I think some of the dials got jogged. So you probably want to take a picture of that just to keep everything set there. And then when you go to set up again, you just take out what's in here to play, and then you go to the beginning and it tells you what to do if it's your second, third, or fourth, if it's your not your first time going through. You choose one main mission and one side mission. So from now on, every time I play the game, I'm going to take a main mission and a side mission, if a side mission is available, and that's kind of how I'm going to play the game. So all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. I know it wasn't a perfect one, but I think you got a good idea of how the game plays. And I'm going to play a couple more adventures over the next day or so, probably continuing tonight and tomorrow evening. And then I'm going to record my review, because I think I've seen enough of the game, or I have enough of understanding of the basic elements and what the game has to offer in order to form my opinion. And sneak preview, my opinion is pretty high of this game. I do definitely have some issues, and I'm sure that most of you know that a lot of it has to do with this thing here, the rule book. So I will be addressing those in detail. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed our playthrough of Aftermath, and stay tuned for the full review coming soon. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye-bye.